I didn't start, I forgot to start this recording. Okay, but those are the basic ones. Okay, so if you want me to just reiterate, I'll do that as well. Okay, or if you have any doubts or something, please let me know.
That's okay.
Okay, so because that's a basic thing, and I forgot it. My bad. I'm sorry. So yeah, so when we talk about the switch, let's say the system one needs to communicate with the system four, okay, and via switch. When the data sends the first time, okay, so first time flooding happens, okay.
But normally flooding or hub are equal only, right? The work.
No,
Mm.
hub is where if this is the system one and transmitting the data to system four, so the data will be broadcasted across all the systems, all the networks
Yeah.
devices which are associated. But
Yeah.
in flooding, the data will not be again transmitted back to the source.
That's what. Okay.
In
Only,
flooding,
okay. Only source will not get the thing, but that's the only difference.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a flooding. And when we talk about the unicasting, so first time the flooding will happen where the data will be transmitted among all the devices which are being associated to switch. And from second time onwards, only unicast will happen. If system one is transmitting the data to system four, so that's when only the data will transmit it to system four. Okay, it won't go to the system two or system three. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, correct. All
Yes.
right. So that's a switch and hub. Okay, so Uma, can you just give me some insight of this hub? What do you mean by hub? What do we mean?
And no, so my point is that switch, why it is not going to the source, except source, it is going to all other systems connected to the switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how does the message reach the source machine then? That is what unicasting you told, right?
No, 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 no.
Sorry, no, if I understood wrongly, I'm sorry. So, I need to send message from machine one to machine. I mean, machine one to machine four. So
Mm-hmm.
you told in switch, if flooding happens, the message will be broadcasted to all other machines except the source machine.
Mm-hmm.
So, how
Okay.
does it
So
go?
why are we using for why we are going for a switch? Why we are not going for a hub?
Hub means it will broadcast to all every machines connected to the hub.
Mm-hmm.
In switch, only to the source machine it will not go, except all other machine it will be broadcasting.
Okay. So it's a first time it will be doing the flooding. And how about the second time?
Second time is unicasting, right? It will be to the specified source it will be sending. Source will be receiving it, right?
Source won't receive the data. Okay.
Destination.
Only destination will receive the data. Okay.
Sorry,
So
sorry. That is what the machine 4 will be receiving the data.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so that is the second time when you do the broadcasting, right? Flooding.
No, no, it's a unicasting.
Ah, okay, okay,
Your
sorry.
unicasting name itself indicates that unique from one to one.
Okay, okay,
Okay, but when we talk about the flooding, flooding means where except the source, all other devices will receive the data
okay, okay.
except source. Okay, that is flooding. And when we
Okay.
talk about the broadcasting, so in broadcasting, source will also receive the data because it is connected via hub.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
but what is the point? Like why should source get the data when it is transferring?
Yeah, that's a problem with the hub, no?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Mm.
that's the problem with the hub. So that's the reason people are no don't use hub. They use switch. The
Mm.
reason is that switch is an intelligent device.
Yeah.
People call it as an intelligent device. Okay. Okay. Clear about source, network devices, what is network, what is networking and all.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna jump into other thing, which is nothing but the router. Okay. Okay. So what do you mean by router?
A router or a switcher, like router and switch are almost similar, but if it is in the same network, switch will be useful. If we want to transfer the data within other networks, router will be useful.
Right. Okay. So the thing is that, see, router is nothing but it's a physical device. Okay. So which is used to, establish a communication or the connection between two different LANs. Okay. So let's say, uh, I'll take an example. Okay. So, I think everyone is having the network connectivity at home, network connection from ISP. Okay. And router will be established there. Okay. So it has the antennas. Some router has one antenna, two antenna, four antennas. Depending on that, it will cover the area, right? So these devices are something where it will be connected, and ISP is also having one router. From that router, the network connectivity will connect. There is a cable which will be coming to your router at home from ISP to your home router. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's not, again, that's a LAN. They do have some LAN kind of thing, right? And if you're trying to communicate between, establish a connection between two different LANs, so we'll be doing, router is the only method. Okay, router is the only method we use to communicate or establish a communication between two different LANs, two or more, not only two. Okay, getting? Now the next would be the operating system. Okay. So far in doubt, Harish or Roma?
No.
Clear, right? Flooding.
Yes, clear.
Okay. So is it interesting or is it boring?
No, actually, not boring.
Okay. Okay. So for you, it's a kind of revision kind of
Yes.
thing for you, Harish.
Yes.
All right. And how about Uma? Are you finding it interesting or is it something boring for you?
No,
Or
it's definitely not boring. So I'm just following things with you.
okay. All right. Okay. So great. Thank you, guys. So well, next is something called operating system. What do you mean by operating system? Okay. So this is nothing but it's a software program. Okay, which is enabled on the computer hardware to communicate with the system. Okay, let's say this is the operating system. This
Hmm.
okay. So this is nothing but a software which has been installed on this my laptop. Okay.
Hmm.
So if I'm purchasing a laptop, so I think these days operating system are being getting installed on the laptops, and that's when it's been sold. And there are people who don't want to have the license operating system. They can have what do you call they can have the bare metal. Okay, if I have a laptop without the operating system installed, that is something called the hardware, and we can call it as a bare metal machine, right? So the moment we get operating system, so when we install it, so that's when it gives an option. It's a GUI interface which gives us to manage the things. Okay, all right. So it's nothing but, again, it's a software which is enabled on the computer hardware. This is my computer on this is the computer hardware on which it is being enabled to communicate. So software is communicating. So any activity which I'm doing, let's suppose the command which I'm running. Okay, let's say okay. See, now it is communicating, though it's a software, it is communicating with my NIC card. Okay, so that's when it is giving me the data. and it shows that, you know, my NIC is working fine. This is how we check. Okay. So, all right. So, so in our session, so basically in this training session, we'll be talking about this Windows operating system. Okay. So there are two different types of operating system. One is server operating system. Okay. And second is client operating system. Okay. The server operating system are some examples if you want me to give, like Windows NT. Okay. 2003. Okay. 2008. 2008 R2. Okay. 2012. Okay. 2012 R2. Okay. 2016. Okay. 2019. 2022. Okay. So don't get shocked. I'll explain all these things. So what do we need to, which one to be used? Okay. And when we talk about the client operating system, okay, so just now I shown you on my machine, this is nothing but the client operating system. Windows 11, Windows 10, earlier it was Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, right? Windows XP. So all these are nothing but the client operating system, means the end user should use. Okay. So we'll be talking more into the, as it's a part of server administration, Windows Server administration. So we'll be talking more about this server operating system. Okay. This complete server operating system. Okay. So in server operating system, so this Windows NT, Windows 2003, 2008, 2008 R2. Okay, these are outdated one. So 2003 is outdated one, but still people are using 2008, 2000 R2 because there is some application dependency in their organization. So people are still using 2008 and 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2. So to be honest, Microsoft is no longer providing support till 2012. Okay. Till 2012 it's out of support for Microsoft. Okay, only the security patches will be, okay, so every month there is some KB or some update will be released by the Microsoft. Okay, so every second of Tuesday. Okay, Microsoft releases some updates or patches, or we can call it KBs, okay, that are to be installed on the these machines. Okay, so security KBs, again, you know, they're gonna release it for this. But if you come across any issues with these servers, so these are something out of support right now, but people are using because they have been using this server operating system for a while, and they do have the application dependency. But in any organization, you know, as it's an, as we got a new operating system, we cannot directly go ahead and, you know, upgrade it to 2022 or 2016, or sorry, the 2019, because there are some application dependency, and also it includes the costing factor also. Okay, because they will be purchasing the license and everything, so that's when they need to install and everything. Okay, and migrating a data from one 2000, let's say I have a old operating system of 2008. 2008. Okay, I need to upgrade it to the 2022. Okay, so directly I cannot go and upgrade it because there are some application dependency, there are some feature which are being changed, right? I need to you know, transfer it to, change it to 2012, then 16 and 22, 19 and 22, right? I need to check whether the application which are being installed on the server operating system 2008 R2, is it compatible with Windows Server 2022 or not? If it is not compatible, I won't go and upgrade it. Okay, so people are still managing, so don't worry about it. Okay, so it's a legacy one, we can call these 2003 2000 NT we no longer see. But uh last year I have seen this server 2003 server. Okay, it's a very legacy and very old GUI that we do have comparatively with 2022 graphical user interface. Okay, and also some features have been changed. Okay, got it.
Yes.
So when we talk about this client operating system, we have Windows 7. Okay, Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 11. Okay, got it. All right, so any doubts, anything so far?
No.
All right, so now we need to identify there is a difference that we do have in terms of the client operating system and server operating system. Okay, there is some difference. Difference between client operating system and server operating system. Let's say it's a client operating system and consider this as an server operating system. Okay, okay, so any server so when we talk about the client operating system, okay, client operating system, we cannot install any service or anything. Like, service is something which we cannot install. Okay, we cannot install the service here. We can install the service on the server operating system, so that's when multiple users can receive it. Okay, and it handles the less resource. Okay, and less hardware support that we do have on this client operating system, less resource and hardware support. Okay, it is robust. The server operating system is robust. Okay, it handles a use resource and use hardware support. Okay, okay, and the process types that we do have on the client operating system. Okay, Intel Core i3, right, i5, i7, i3, i5, i7 kind of thing. Okay, and for this example, like barebone we have, Exxon we have, these are some processors. Okay, and the data processing which we have on the server is very fast, because the reason is that it is having use resource and hardware support. Okay, got it. Any idea, sorry, any doubts or anything? Clear?
No.
You will be providing notes as well, right, for this?
Notes is I need
Because
to.
we might be able to follow this. I will have to, I mean, referral. to learn.
No. What I would want you guys to do is that parallelly, take a notebook and just make a note of all the things.
Yeah, I agree, but still, any PDFs or anything you will be able to share with us, right?
PDF, everything we do have over the Google in the docs.microsoft.com. We have everything that you need.
Where?
Yeah, in Microsoft document we have. Okay, in the Google, if you type for this server operating system or anything, Windows Server operating system, you'll be having a huge number of things. So here, what we are going to do is that, so over the Google, you do have a lot of data, but you really don't understand, what exactly this theory is all about and all, right? So in order to simplify it, so that's the reason I'm putting everything in this, uh, what do you call, on this whiteboard and, explaining you. So I would want you to just make a note of all these things. So while attending these sessions,
Okay.
because I'll be focusing more into the practical. And you do have this recorded session, so you can go through that as well. So
Okay, okay.
once or twice, if see, I can give you the notes. Again, I need to download it from the Microsoft. The same thing you can do it from over the Google. So because we do have the, you know,
Which is, maybe you can share the link later.
okay, I'll share the link. Okay,
Yeah,
so you can use that one. Okay,
yeah, sure.
but if you just make a note of all these things and
Okay. I will be doing that, but still, just if see, I don't have an experience, right? Like practical or theoretical. So anything ask, if you ask me something, I can only know what you have told me here. Just wanted to make sure. I'm not saying that I'm going to be very studious and so, but little bit understanding is good.
Okay, I understand. So no worries. I'll check, what best I can do for you, both of you guys. Okay, and accordingly, we'll just share the notes or any links, related links. Okay,
Mm.
useful links for you. Okay. Okay. So any doubts or anything so far? All right. So I'll take that as no. Okay. And we have different types of hardware servers. Okay. So I'm not going more into it. Okay. So let me cover that. Why to miss? Okay. Types of hardware servers. Okay. So we do have something called tower servers. Okay. And bladder servers. Okay. Rack servers. Right. And these are currently in use. Where, where it went. Okay. So currently rack servers are in use. These are one obsolete one. Okay. So if you happen to go navigate to your server room in your organization, okay, so you'll see a long racks of 6 feet of height, right? So there that must be having 32 racks. Okay, it can hold number of servers. So that's nothing but the type of one of the types of hardware servers we have. Okay, right. And then next we have something called flavors. Okay, what all additions that we do have? Windows flavors. So it's a Windows flavors. Okay, so I talked about some servers like 2008 server, 2000 operating systems, right? Windows operating class server operating systems of 2008, 2008 R2, right? But in 2008, let's suppose if I consider like 2016, okay, there is something called, again we do have different flavors. Let's suppose if I take Windows Server operating system of 2016, again it has a different flavors, like it has enterprise edition. Okay, 2016 is of a standard edition. Okay, 2016 of data center edition. Okay, so depending on the usage, we'll be using these additions. Okay, so usually what we use, so in day-to-day activities I have used this standard edition or data center editions. Okay, so again it's a client requirement, accordingly we need to use those operating systems and we deploy it on the machines or the bare metal. Clear?
Yeah.
All right, so now I'll cover so that's all for today. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk something about IP addressing, logical topology, active directory domain servers service, purpose of active directory domain service, what is domain and what is domain controller. Okay, so please tomorrow at the same time we're gonna connect. So from today's session, if you have any doubt or anything, just let me know, because this is a basic thing that everyone should know before because this is the basic sessions which I gave today. So what is network and all. So from tomorrow onwards, so we have actual deep dive into the IP addressing part. Okay, followed by the active directory and domain controller things. Okay, so those are very I would say it's an important topic. So when we get trained on the Azure, so these are some basic topics which we do have, like active directory, DHCP, DNS. These things are very important, right? Before we learn Azure or anything. So if you have any doubts anywhere, just stop me right away. Okay, and from there I'll ensure that I'll just clarify everything, and that's when we'll move forward. I would request you guys to just go through this. Let's stop the recording. Okay.